Blessings, 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 blessings to all. Blessings to you, blessings to your family, your pets, your dogs, all that. Blessings. Today, we're going to talk about uh, me being incarcerated. Um, the year was 1998. So, I used to jog around the compound, uh, doing like 10 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles. I jogged it 2 times out of the week. 2 times out of the week, Monday and Friday. I worked out 5 days a week, and I gave myself a rest Saturday and Sunday. Sometimes on Saturday and Sunday, sometimes. Unless I want to do extra, something extra light, whatever. Every day after my workout, I used to uh, go hit the bag. Every day my workout, I used to go hit the bag. And every day of my workout, I always incorporated pull-ups, dips, push-ups. That was the warm-up stages. Whether we did 21 sets, 30 sets, 15 sets, it was all part of the workout. And that had to be done every day. I showed y'all in my previous video how my body used to look. So I used to talk to my brother at the chances that I could get to talk with him. And he was in the streets. He was in the streets. And he was paralytic. He was in the streets. He was in a wheelchair too, as well. This is a real sentimental moment to me because of. I'll let you know at the end of the video why it affects me so much every year. So I was home already. I was home already on parole from being in feds. I was home already. So yeah, I was home already from the feds on parole. So yeah, I was. So when I was home, I was living on 133rd Street up in Harlem with me and my girlfriend at that time. I was young too as well. Yeah. So I believe it was 92 that he got shot in Philly. He was hustling in Philly and he got shot. He was up there with a friend or whatever, who was up there with his friend, his crew, whatever it was. And I believe that he got shot. Well, he got shot. Yeah, he got shot. So he got paralyzed. He got shot. So I rushed up there to the hospital, and rushing up there in tears. You know what I'm saying? That's my middle brother. My mother had 3 kids. That's my middle brother. So I'm rushing up there in tears. Me and my girlfriend at the time. I believe I was 18, 19. So I'm rushing up there. And I see him in the hospital, in the bed, recovering. But he couldn't move. The devastating news to me was that he couldn't move. But I kind of didn't want to believe that. I didn't want to believe that. So as time went on, from him being released, he bounced around, wanted to be close to family for the moment. He came to my house to stay for a couple of days, and and it was a good thing. And then I drive my car out to Brooklyn where he was staying at some time. He was a pretty boy. He was a pretty boy. Yeah, my brother was a pretty boy and a dancer, but he was a pretty boy. I don't think that my brother knew too much about the hustle, but he made it to be about. He wanted some money. But he was a pretty boy. That noise that you hear right now, that noise is my air freshener thing that I put in this hallway in between. I live at the top and my neighbor's at the bottom. So I took a little old school to sit on the steps to kick it with y'all, to let y'all get the vibe. That this is old, but also it's very sentimental to me too as well. So I took it to the steps. Like in the projects of me inside the building and the steps. So so he stayed me for a few days, and at the time I was still on probation, like I said. This is a picture of me at the hospital with him, if you can see it well. That's him on a hospital bed, and that's me on the side. Yeah, that's me. If you can see it, well, yeah, I got the rollie on the wrist. That's another time I'll tell you about me when I used to be on the streets hustling. You can see the rollie, but it's not about that. It's about my brother. I had to mention that to y'all because we both was hustling. So yeah, also, this is him again. That's before he got shot. He was younger then. Handsome. He was younger then. Handsome. This was him in a wheelchair after he got shot. Yeah, you see it? Yeah. Yep. And I'm gonna see if I can find one more for you. And this is him in a wheelchair again. He was slim. Handsome. Dance, but As he got, you know, he was fly. He was fly. He was fly. All right. So back to the story. So now I'm in. Like I said, I was incarcerated, and I used to work out a lot, 5 days a week. Like I said there. So his main thing was like going out of town. My brother, going out of town hustling. Yeah, his main thing was going out of town hustling. So, like I said to you before, he got shot in Philly, and he was paralyzed. So now I'm incarcerated. Well, I got locked up again for well, I was on federal probation. Probation. I said parole. Well, I don't remember. Right now, my mind is triggering, guys. But I was on probation or parole, one of them. I'll get that shit together. But right now, I'm talking about my brother. But I was on one of them. I'll explain that story to you later on. This is my brother. So, I was on probation, whatever. I forgot. So I went to go see my federal parole officer. I was on parole. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I was on parole. I got it right now. Federal parole. I was on federal parole, and I went to go see him on my daily viewing. So they locked me up. All right, 1993, they locked me up for a homicide. A homicide that occurred in 1989, I believe. 1989 or 1987. It's either one. I think 1987 I got the homicide. But they didn't know it was me. They didn't know it was me doing, you know, what happened, how it happened. It took them a while. But that's another story I'll get into as time go on. It's about my brother. So yeah, so I get locked up in 1993. I get sentenced in 1995. I was on Rikers Island for the whole time being, 93 to 95. And then going into 96, I was being shipped upstate. So I went through I was a high level classification of being a max jails. So now, '98 comes around, right? So I'm in the yard working out, and you know, I believe I spoke to my brother. Excuse me, a couple of months before. People was telling me, "Yo, your brother in the street, you know, he out in Baltimore, Maryland. You know, Baltimore just like Philly. You know, the body count and doing all that. And we talking 1998. You know, it was going down in 1998. Baltimore, Philly was even more. It still is to this day. He was out in Baltimore. He had a girlfriend. Pretty sure he had a girlfriend. Yeah, he did have a girlfriend. She had a child. He was staying with her. Again, remind you, he was paralytic already. He was already paralyzed from his waist down from the gunshot that he got shot in 1992. So he was already shot already. From 92, he was already paralyzed. So he had from 92 to 93, I mean, from 92 to 1998. So I'm in the yard working out, you know, doing my thing. And I showed you my pictures from my last video, how my body was from in prison. So I never could forget. I'm over by the bar doing pull-ups, dips, push-ups, you know. And when we do the bar, we do it 4 ways. You know, you got the under, over, in, over, in, under, wide, over, wide, under, you know, dips, off the ground, on the floor, push-ups, on the ground, off the chair, diamonds, short push-ups, spread wide, right, left, switch side like that, back and forth. So I never will forget that I was in the yard doing my daily routine, my sets. I don't know how many sets I was putting in that day, but like I said, we always do over 20 sets, so it's always 20 and better. The warm up before we do the weights, or sometimes we do it after the weights. But we always had to incorporate the calisthenics. I mean, I had some workout partners with that too, and separate workout partners with the weights. And on my own, that's when I hit the bag and do my jump rope and jog as well. So there's a priest walking over towards me while I'm in the yard, and he tells me he wants to speak to me. And I ain't never go to church in jail, so there's no reason for a priest to walk over towards me. So he walks over towards me and he says to me, "We would like to talk with you. Could you please take a walk with me?" So I told him, is it possible I can, let me just finish my workout and get it over with, whatever it is. So because sometimes the priest will walk the yard, or just to, give his blessings and prayers. Oh, this fucking light, what happened to his blessings and his prayers? So here it is. Hold on. Here it is. Yeah, he wanted to speak to me. So I said to him, let me finish my sets. Yes, I will be available. So in the process, he says it's urgent. So at that time, I already knew who had a health issue in my family, which was my mother. She was already, she had cancer. And that's another story of my mother, I'll tell you. So, you know how you already prepared to hear about a family member's death already? That y'all prepared to, face it? So, when he said that, I said, okay. I walk with him. We get inside the chapel, and he tells me, I says to him personally, the mom all right? What's going on? He says to me, no, it's not about your mom. So I know I got my middle brother and my youngest brother. And I know my youngest brother ain't capable of being in the streets yet. But he knows the streets. But meaning, my youngest brother, he knows the streets, but not being like a hustler yet at that point. Uh, so like I said again, my brother that was already paralyzed already, he was already hustling in the streets, being in a wheelchair. So the priest tells me, you need to call home and find out what's going on. I'd rather for them to tell you. So I call home in the chapel, and my brother that was in a wheelchair has been murdered in Baltimore. In Baltimore. That light keep going on. I mean, that light don't never do that. So that must be my brother's spirit. There must be a spirit with that light be telling the story. I'm not superstitious. I don't believe in that voodoo. I don't believe in none of that shit. But the light flickering, that light don't be flickering. So it must be him, But yes, so I was told he was murdered. And this is the story. They came through the back door. I guess he was living in a building that had the fire escape that goes up. Baltimore, Maryland, some of them have little houses like that in the backyard. Out of state houses, sometimes I have a 4th floor building or 3rd floor. They have the fire escape that could be in the back and have doors up in the front and all that stuff, side doors, with the fire escape in the back. They came to the back door like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 or something like that. And I'm going to get the story more with you guys too as time goes on. He was already in a wheelchair. Now I don't know specifically what he was doing in the house. I don't know if he was asleep. Was he up? Was he in the kitchen? Was he in the living room at 2 in the morning? Was he watching TV? Was he smoking weed? Because he's a weed head. Was he smoking weed? Was he counting money? I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. So they came to the back door, and this is what I heard. He put his girlfriend, she was Caucasian, he put his girlfriend and her baby in the closet. In the closet. These guys came in, face mask on, ski mask, whatever it is. And they asked him to open up the safe. He opened up the safe, gave him the money, jewelry, whatever it was. And they still killed him. They still killed him. And he was already paralyzed. But he was a hustler, and he was selling drugs out there. Now, that's another thing. I believe they knew him, and I believe he knew them. It's my theory. I believe that. Also, the police down there asked my dad to come down to get some of his possessions, whatever it is, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is. Out of town cops don't like New York City cops or out of town people coming into their town, period. These motherfuckers had the nerve to give my father, I guess, some of the money that was there with blood on it. Like this flint. Yeah, with blood on it. Wow. And I did make it to the funeral. I was upstate. I did make it to the funeral. I didn't make it. They brought me down. I stayed in Sing Sing overnight. The officers let me stay with my brother. They shipped his body down. They let me stay with him on my own when he came in because the visitors' hours didn't open up yet for the funeral home. But we came there early from Sing Sing, and we got there early. Nobody was there at the moment because it was too early. But the people in the building let me go downstairs and speak to my brother. and spend time with him. I did. I did spend time with him. So I wrote a letter, and I put the letter in his pocket. I put a letter in his pocket. I put a letter in his pocket. Light flicked again. Yeah, I did. You know I did. You know I did. I put a letter in his pocket. And he took it with him. My family members said that the people from the funeral told him I put a letter in his pocket. Don't have nobody touching it, taking it. Yes, so he took it with him. He took it with him. Yep, he took it with him. People used to say to me, your brother wanted to act like you sometimes, whatever. But he wasn't a fighter. I was a fighter, but he wasn't a fighter. But just, wanted to be a hustler. But I don't think that was the case. I believe it just was in our family of being hustlers, being a hustler or a drug dealer, that it was always that temptation in the boys, in some boys. Cause I got another brother. He ain't do no like shit like that. Step brother. He ain't do no shit like that. Just me and my brother that's deceased. We're the only ones that gave that life out in the streets. Our life. So yeah. Another tragedy moment I'll share with you too. So my brother got killed in 1998, and then my mother died in 1999, the next year later, while I was still incarcerated. I came down for that funeral too. I'll let you guys know about that in the next video, but not the next video, the time go on. So that was 2 deaths within 2 years. It's crazy because when I was young, I don't know what the hell went through my mind. I wanted to be a cop. I don't know why, but that didn't work out because I was infatuated with guns. I was infatuated with the fast life. I turned my life around the fast life and the money, the girls, the traveling, the clothes, the materialistic things. And then when I was young, I did want to go to jail. I wanted to put that on my rap sheet, like crazy thinking. I'm pretty sure a lot of niggas thought like that too. They want to go to jail, experience it and put that in like a fucking resume. Like a fucking resume. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fucking resume. And yeah. So I'll give you the story of my brother. And this is something that I supposed to got over and let it, proceed on with my life of living. But I can't. It affects me every time when that month hits. Every time when that month hit of June, every time that month hit of June, the beginning, it affects me in May, the ending of May. And then it started affecting me in the beginning of June. It does. It does. And I'm going to tell you why. Stretch my legs out a little bit. It affects me. Let me tell you why. It affects me a lot in June. Because when you heard people say your brother want to be like you, or your brother, in the streets hustling a little bit, but it didn't come from being like me. It came from a family being hustlers. Wow. My brother cut the light off. All right, well, I'm gonna end it. My brother, when I was incarcerated, 1998, and every year it affects me. My birthday's in June, and my brother got killed on my birthday. So maybe that's why this light just went out. And look, it came back on. I am not in, like, nobody's here, just me in the house. I don't know what that is. But he's been with me ever since then. And it affects me every time my birthday comes up. Because he got killed on my birthday, my brother. So with this, I say I gotta end it. Love, peace, and happiness.